the Chargers are coming here Thursday night. Oh, boy. After watching the Raiders not score against the Vikings, and then basically watching the Chargers score one offensive touchdown and score 13 points combined in the last 2 weeks, what's this total going to be set at? 21? I mean, this is bad offensive football against worse offensive football. And I got to be honest, I don't know which unit's worse right now.
Yeah, and now the total down to 34. Of course, the look-ahead total was 42.5, and that
look at that.
That is basically saying, okay, we don't think Justin Herbert's going to play, and we think it's going to be Easton Stick or somebody that the Chargers can find. More than likely, it'll be Easton Stick starting the game. But Justin Herbert, the index finger, ruled out indefinitely, so that's already been accounted for. Raiders here at Allegiant, about 3-point favorites, and I believe what was the number? It was 3. It was Chargers minus 3.5, and now the Raiders are 3. But this Charger offense was struggling with Justin Herbert, and they're going to even struggle even more, I think, without him. One little interesting nugget: this is since 2015. If you're looking for kind of a trend or an angle. And this actually did work on Thursday night with the Patriots off a shutout against the aforementioned Chargers 6-0. Teams off a shutout since 2015 are 29-13-3 against the number.
Wow.
So that, of course, would fit with the Las Vegas Raiders,
sure would,
who were shut out at home today by the Minnesota Vikings. Just, I think these are two teams where their season, I don't want to say their season is ended because obviously you got contract incentives and a lot of different things. It does feel like
one team's still playing and the other one is not.
Yeah, I feel like both of these teams, any chance, to get in that glut for the playoffs. Now there's a big schism between 7-6 and 5-8. Both of these teams, in my opinion, Dave, are done. Raiders, 202 yards of offense today on 53 plays, 3.8. Now the defense showed up, held Minnesota to 231, but couldn't run the ball. O'Connell throws the late interception when they give up the field goal at the 2-minute warning, and O'Connell throws an interception. 2 fumbles, by the way, also by the Raiders today. So, when you have 3 turnovers, that tells you what the story of the game was, because this was a pretty dead-even game throughout. Minnesota never could get away from them. There were 17 punts in this game combined. So just an ugly game over at Allegiant. But Minnesota, they don't ask about how much. They ask, how many you win. And they did get their 7th win. So I'm trying to figure what I would do with this game. Lean Raiders, but obviously it's been accounted for in terms of Justin Herbert's availability.
Again, we've seen Aiden O'Connell, and I heard Aiden at some of his postgame today. He said, look, I've got to be better. I wasn't very good today, and certainly our defense did enough, and we should have been able. And I think the same could be said for the Chargers here going forward. If you're Easton Stick, okay, and it looks like it's going to be at least Thursday, and maybe for the rest of the time, it could be the end of the Brandon Staley era. It could end with Easton Stick. Who the hell is Easton Stick? And we know he's been around since, 2020 is the last time he threw an NFL pass for the Chargers. But can they somehow rally around this guy? Because, again, we talked about backup quarterbacks a lot. Some teams have rallied around their backup, but there feels like there's just no JUICE left with this team.
Yeah, he was a 2019 draft pick, round 5 out of North Dakota State, one of the better FCS programs in the country. But, not a lot of starting experience. I mean, whenever you hear about Easton Stick, you hear about him in the preseason.
That's right.
Because that's pretty much when he's playing. So, yeah, just a bad performance for the Chargers today. 24-7 Denver. Chargers only 4.2 yards of play. They still can't run the ball like we were talking about earlier. The run blocking rate is one of the lowest in the league. And if you can't run the ball, that makes you one-dimensional. And Easton Stick, got put in basically a no-win situation. He ends up 13 of 24 for 179.
And Herbert wasn't very good when he was in.
No, he was not. So Denver was winning this game.
Right.
Chargers had done really nothing offensively. I think it was 7-0 when Herbert went out of the game with the index finger. So lean Raiders, now it's going to depend. You're banking on motivation with these teams. It's like, okay, who's going to stay with the season? Because these two teams know their season is essentially done.
Yeah, it feels like they're playing for Antonio Pierce a little bit. I don't know how much.
That's what makes me lean a little bit to the Raiders.
Right. So we'll see.
Go to VSiN.com/subscribe to become a VSiN Pro subscriber today.